Good morning, folks, and welcome to St. James United Church in Waterdown, Ontario, Canada. I'm Reverend Ryk Brown, and today is Indigenous Day of Prayer, as we lift up the First Nations peoples of this land and we acknowledge their rightful place. It's also Father's Day. So we give thanks today for the fathers that are in our lives and those who are no longer in our lives. This week, we also said goodbye to our beloved administrator, Wendy, who is leaving us after 3 decades of service here in this congregation, moving to St. Paul's United Church in Dundas to serve as their full-time administrator. And we give thanks to Wendy for her awesome and devoted service over these decades. I brought her in some lunch and bottle of wine this week to celebrate her last day with us. But we give thanks, and we give thanks that she'll be remaining with us as a member of this congregation and continuing to worship with us in the future. So thanks be to God for that. This week is also the wind down week for all of our programming as we're getting ready to take a break for the summer for a lot of programs. Our life groups will be wrapping up this Wednesday. Sunday school, this is our last, today is our last day for children's ministry on Sunday morning. Ruth will be taking a break for the rest of the summer after today. Our youth group will be winding up this week, and on our awesome mask ministry, our team of sewers has been going strong for the last couple of months, and they're going to be slowing down a little bit and taking some break time over the summer too, because they've been going full out for the last little while. Over the summer, our worship will continue throughout the entire summer, though various people on all the people on our worship team will be taking vacation time at some point through the summer. So as you're tuning in for summer worship, you're going to see different people on the team missing on any given week as we each take time for vacation, and you'll see some other people filling in. So enjoy our worship here, as we will be worshiping here all summer with those who are on each week. And on the topic of worship, as the province of Ontario is now allowing partial reopening of churches, our board has looked long and hard and cautiously at this situation. And right now, we have no plans to resume in-person worship anytime before September 1st. We're going to take the summer to evaluate our abilities, the safety of the congregation, continue to be informed on the ongoing risk of the coronavirus, and make sure that when we begin to worship in person here again, we can do so safely. So continue to join us all through the summer till the end of the summer here online as we continue to worship here in virtual space. And speaking of virtual space, if you're off for vacation this summer, though it's kind of hard to have a real normal vacation, maybe you've got a cottage that you're able to get to. The good thing about online worship is you can take worship with you to the cottage. So take your laptop, take your cell phone, whatever you need, and continue to join us when you're sitting up at the lake with your feet on the railing on Sunday morning, sipping your morning coffee, listening to the loons. You can enjoy worship here online. Let us now prepare our hearts and come before God in worship.
Gospel reading is from Matthew chapter 10, verses 34 to 39. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace to the earth, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and one's foes will be members of one's own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take up the cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Those who find their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake will find it.
Over the past few weeks, we've seen vigorous support for Black Lives Matter and pride here in our community in Waterdown and beyond. I can only imagine how our Indigenous sisters and brothers must be watching us asking, so where were all you people when we stood up? I think I understand where they're coming from. I need to have a chat with the boss. No, that doesn't look right. Let's try a different one. That's better. Maybe we can be a little more on topic. That's it.
Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace to the earth, but a sword.
What? But you're the Prince of Peace. I thought you were all about peace. What do you mean you come to bring a sword? You want us to fight? To fight for what is right? To fight for justice? To fight for the oppressed? To fight for those who have been left behind by society? I thought you just wanted us to talk and maybe carry placards up and down the street. You want us to fight?
For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and one's foes will be members of one's own household.
So you've come to set families fighting against each other? But I thought we were supposed to love each other. Wait a minute. You mean love doesn't mean putting up with wrongdoing? Love doesn't mean avoiding conflict? I thought love meant sit down and shut up. I thought love meant do as you're told. No. So you want us to challenge our family members and our friends when we see racism and bigotry and misogyny and homophobia and transphobia? You want us to challenge them. We need to stand up for those who have had their land stolen from them, those who cannot breathe because the knee of society is on their neck, and those who have been wrongly told all their lives that their sexuality is sinful. You want us to stand up for them. You want us to turn family members against each other when we see hatred? You want us to stand up for others even when it means standing up against our own family members?
No.
Can you shut your mouth for a minute?
No.
Because I actually work in the ghetto. I see the people.
Do you know why they're in that
physically go and I
position?
see these people.
Do you understand the systematic
They
and
get all
historical
kinds
reason
of
for why they're
chances
in that
and
position?
They don't care. All they want to do is be ghetto.
No.
Yes, there's some that
No.
don't, and there's good people. It doesn't matter what color, brown, white.
But it's a lot
orange,
harder for
yellow.
them to get to that
It
position.
doesn't matter. When they do, they're fine. But there's always filthy animals. And that
You're calling people of color black animals. You're calling them animals.
Yeah, there's a trespasser in my building. He's refusing to leave, and he's filming.
Listen to your son.
Daddy, go.
1868
It's the better. I agree with him, Daddy. It's the better.
At Washington.
Let's go. Please, I don't like this. I don't like
standing in the lobby.
Daddy, I don't like this. Let's go.
He appears to be African American.
Appears to be African American.
Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
So, our love of God, which includes our love of following the way of you, Jesus, must be more important than our love for our parents or our children. So if we see family acting against God's love, we need to call them out for it. We need to choose God over family. That's not easy to do, Jesus.
And whoever does not take up the cross and follow me is not worthy of me.
Take up the cross. You mean like this one? Or you mean it metaphorically? You mean be willing to be crucified, right? You mean that metaphorically, right? Right? Not literally, right? No, you mean both. Oh. So we need to be willing to take a shot on the chin in standing up against evil. It's that big a deal? It is, okay. It'll take that much conviction. When we see evil, racism, bigotry, etc., and we speak up, you know we're at risk of being shot down or run over. But you want us to do it anyway. You want us to risk like you risked for us. That's hard. But here comes the good news.
Those who find their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake will find it.
So if we focus all our energy on finding our own life, amassing what's good for us, to the exclusion of what is good for others, then we'll end up losing our own life in the end. We'll have nothing. But if we do what Jesus is asking us, if we're willing to risk our lives for the sake of living Jesus' love for others, then we won't lose our life. We'll find it. Over the last few weeks, we've been focusing on bigotry towards the Black community, towards people of color, towards the LGBTQ plus community, because we feel here in Canada that they're easy targets for us to challenge, the bigotry in those areas. It's cool, it's hip for us to be inclusive of those people. But it also allows us to hide from the bigger problem of systemic racism in our own country here in Canada that we place upon our First Nations peoples. Today is Indigenous Day of Prayer, and they're asking us to listen to them, to learn from them, to educate ourselves about them, and to stand up and shout with them and join our voices in solidarity and protest with them for their right to be treated as human beings worthy of God's love, just like us. But it's not simply just about standing up against injustice. It's more than that. It's also about celebrating their culture, not through appropriation. It's theirs, not ours, but through appreciation. loving, the beautiful gift that they share with us. So today, we give thanks to God for the beauty that has been shared with us through our Indigenous peoples. Thanks be to God.
God, come to us. The world is in pain. We are in pain. I am in pain. God, we remember the legacy of oppression by European culture and values that we are a part of through our own history, through our own connection, through our own being here as Canadians. God, come to us. We are in pain. We remember our Aboriginal brothers and sisters today. We remember the legacy that we are responsible for as well. The dispossession of their lands, forcing on them an alien mode of government, making them live on reserves, and the cycle of social and physical and spiritual destruction that is part of our legacy. God, come to us. They are in pain. They suffer from loss of identity, of rights, a learned helplessness through a failed education system, struggles with domestic violence, poverty, poor health, poor access to resources, and the racism that is reflected in so many areas of all our countries. God, come to us, for they are in pain. God, come to us and help us to uphold all the things that are good and beautiful, because you are our Creator. You are everyone's Creator. Help us learn to uphold each other's rich cultural practices, to respect each other's traditions and ways of being, to encourage self-sufficiency, natural government, personal self-government, holistic ways of living in this world that honor and respect all that is in creation. God, come to us. Come to each one of us. Come to us systemically. Come to us and empower us along the path to healing, to being more charitable, to creating better ways of living and being. God, come to us and encourage us to mutually respect all that you have created and all that is just because you are. We ask you to help us to make new, right relationships that recognize and share the truth that we all are bound together by, that we are created good and we are created equal, and that we are all one under the Creator. God, come to us. Come to our world. We need you. We love you. God, come to us. Hallelujah. Amen.
Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We
Over the past 3 months, we've been asking you for your support for our local ministry here, and you've been incredibly generous. So I want to thank you. Thank you for your amazing support that has enabled us to continue doing all of the incredible things that are happening here at St. James, to continue our weekly worship services here online, to continue our weekly support and study groups that are happening online here, to continue our weekly youth group meetings that have been happening online here, to continue our telephone ministry, contacting people in our community who have been isolated because of the pandemic, to continue our phenomenally successful mask-making ministry that has created and given away over 3,000 masks to people in the community, to continue our outreach work with migrant workers, to continue our support for Black Lives Matters, to continue our support for Pride, to continue our support for children and youth who are being bullied in our community. All of these things and many more things are possible because of your ongoing support for our ministry here at St. James. So thank you from our whole congregation to all of you who have been supporting us through this pandemic, and hopefully will continue to support us through the remaining time as we begin to emerge from shutdown progressively over the coming months or however long it takes. Remain generous in your heart this week. Explore the cultures of our First Nations peoples. Stand with them as you have stood with others. Solidarity does not begin and end with one march. God bless. See you next week.